Hello and welcome to A Cat in the Garden. Before I get this video started, I wanted to say thank you so much everybody for all of your prayers, all of your thoughts. I've been recovering very well from surgery. Also, especially thanks to my wonderful kitties who have been cuddling with me and non-stop for the past week. I am feeling a lot better right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and film this video, which I meant to film a week ago, but that's okay. And you guys said that you really liked my chatty girl and all of her meows, so I figured I'd put her in the video today because I also love her and she's so cute. But this is going to be, if you didn't see from the title, my favorite plants for the month of April. And this was a little bit hard to film just because I was a little bit preoccupied this month. But it was also really nice to pick out some plants because I needed the little serotonin boost, the little happiness, just to see that my plants are doing well despite everything that's been going on. So I picked out 5 plants that I just think are doing really well right now, are really low maintenance, and also that just make me happy. So the first one, what do you think, Saffron? What should we do as our first one? This one? Ooh, I think that's a yes from Saffron. So this is my Hoya Affinity Serpents, and you might not see this too much around my channel just because it lives in a prop box. And that is because these like tiny leaf fuzzy Hoyas, they don't do well in regular humidity unless they are very well established. And I find it's very difficult to get a good root system on this. I did get it as a cutting a year ago, and it has been almost 2 years now actually. And it has grown quite a lot. It puts out new growth constantly in the prop box. It does really well there. It has a tiny bit of splash in some areas, and it's just a happy plant overall. I really like it. I'm hoping maybe I can find maybe this Halloween, those like humidity dome things that like, I don't know, I feel like you see them a lot around Halloween, those like cloches that you can just put like a little plant in, or like it's like a display case is what they market it as. But I could display this in it and it would have a lot more humidity. So I'm hoping maybe I will find one of those just so I can take this out of the prop box, maybe give it a real pot or something. But it seems happy, it's loving life. I fertilize it occasionally, water it every few months, and it does great. It is grown quite a lot, and I just love having it loop around the pot a bunch of times, and it can establish more roots, put out more growth points, and hopefully soon it'll just be overflowing. But I did want to show it off at some point, so here it is. It is one of my favorites just because it is really low maintenance as long as you give it high humidity. The next plant is one that I bought somewhat recently, but I was waiting to show you guys the new leaf that was just starting to form when I got it. And oh my gosh, am I excited to show it to you. So this is my Syngonium chiaia-peni variegated, and the new leaf looks a little wonky right now. It's still kind of hardening off, but do you see that? That is a half moon. I was so worried that it was going to be a full moon and that it would have no green, especially since I bought it as a cutting, but it's perfect. It is Saffron for scale here. It's pretty big. Okay. She's just so chatty today. That's fine. It does have on the stem a half moon stem, so I'm really hoping maybe I can get some more marbly variegation with the next leaf. I don't have the highest humidity, so I hope not all leaves come out like this. I do hope I actually get some like the parent leaf as well, but it's okay. It is a top cut. I will have nodes to chop from if it happens to get too variegated. Oh, she wanted down because she sees cars driving by. Okay, Saffron. I see how it is. Cars are they're more fun than me. What can I say? But this leaf is gorgeous. I mean, I could not have asked for a better leaf to come out of this. It is going to be a little small just because the plants, when they're growing a leaf and a cutting is taken, mid cuts, top cuts, Sometimes they'll just go into shock and the leaf will be a little bit smaller. I'm not really bothered by it. It gives me some more time as well before I get a pole for it. I did order some, so hopefully I can get it in a nice pot with a pole soon. I do have it in my new cabinet that I do still need to show you guys, but I don't like have a good setup for it yet. I don't have shelves or anything in it, so it's just kind of looking plain right now. I'm just kind of debating if I should get like a wire like board in the back or like a pegboard or something just to hang some plants off of. I don't know. If you have any ideas, let me know, because I do want to make it like a little bit prettier, kind of like the two I have behind me that I did a lot of DIY. All I have in it right now is some lights, so we'll see. But that's where it's living right now, just so it can have a little bit of a boost of humidity, though I do expect some browning on this eventually, because like that's a lot of white on there. But this is amazing. This is everything I wanted out of a variegated chiaia-peni and more. I waited so long to buy this plant. I waited until I could get one for under $100, and I'm just really happy I did, because this is gorgeous and I just can't get enough of it. So you'll probably see this on my favorites again and again and again, but I mean, can you blame me? It's gorgeous. So the next one of my favorites is of course another Hoya, and this is my Hoya lacunosa mint coin, and I am loving how it is filling out this trellis from Propagation Diaries. I've always seen on Instagram photos of Hoyas just like wrapped around a trellis a million times, looking so full and beautiful and like blooming half the time. And obviously I don't have blooms yet, but I am starting to get it to wrap around and I'm loving the look. I'm hoping one day it'll just cover up the trellis completely. I think that would look so cool. And I mean, I have a clear one anyway, so like unless the light is reflecting off of it, you can't really see, but oh my gosh, it is just starting to look so good. When I first put Hoyas on trellises, sometimes they can look a little silly to me. Like they just don't look right. They don't look adjusted to it. It kind of looks like you just threw it on there. But this one has adjusted really well, I think because it has a more compact growth pattern. So it's very easy for it to fill out the trellis. And I do have 3 vines on it, one of which is just kind of like hanging out here. It's not really doing anything at the moment. But I do have the 2, one going this way and then the one wrapping around this way. So hopefully they'll just continue to wrap around. The one piece of advice I will give for Hoyas that you have trellised up is you always want the vines facing up. So I'm not going to clip this down because that'll stop the growth. And then you also, if it is vining, you don't want to clip it too close to the end of the vine. You want to give at least 2 or 3 nodes of space in between. So I have this clip here and then I have quite a few nodes after it. That way it'll keep growing. If you do clip it too close, it'll actually kill off the vine growth that it has. So this just keeps it growing. I'm trying to clip it as little as possible. I know I will need to once it gets long enough to wrap around completely, but I'm just kind of letting it naturally do its thing. Hoyas love something to attach themselves to, so naturally it's gonna want to follow this trellis anyway. So I just love it. And I always wanted a lacunosa mint coin. This is probably my favorite lacunosa, honestly. I did really like the Asami. I did kill it. I'm hoping one day to find another one, but that is a story for another day. I'm gonna focus on this beautiful mint coin. I'll try to show, I guess this is easier. It's got more leaves facing this way. It's just so cute, and I love the leaf shape. It's a little bit more rounded than you would typically see on a lacunosa. I just love it so much. It's just the cutest, so that's why it is on my favorites for this month. I feel like I love absolutely any excuse to show off this next plant, and it is my favorite Anthurium, so I guess that explains why. But this is my Anthurium Dock Block F2 crossed with Silver Blush. I am so proud of this plant because I finally upgraded it to this new pot. So it's got a 3-inch pot in there, and then this holographic cup on the outside. It kind of fits in perfectly. A little bit of drainage for extra water when I water it, but it's been pretty good. I haven't had to water it since I repotted it actually, which I did pretty recently, but it doesn't seem to mind at all. There's almost no browning on the leaves, just a little bit on the oldest ones. It is growing so fast. I can't believe I've owned this plant for a year now. I got it when it was so tiny. All of the original leaves are gone. I think this was actually the first leaf in my care, and it's so much smaller than the newest leaf. So I feel like it's come such a long way in just a year, from a tiny baby seedling to, I guess now, like you could call it a full plant now that I've up-potted it. I know it's still small, and I'm sure if I had it in really high humidity, it would have grown faster by now, but I don't care. I love it. Oh, it's so happy. I gave it fertilizer, gave it a little bit bigger space, not too much, but a little bit bigger, and I moved it from my little Target greenhouse to my IKEA soccer greenhouse. It's the one that they used to make. They've replaced that since with the Acrobar, which I do have one and I still haven't put it together. I bought that almost a year ago, but life is just busy. But this is just everything that I would want and more in an Anthurium. It has the beautiful silvery veins, which I love. I love the silver vein Anthurium. I love the velvety Anthurium too. I'm not a big fan of the ones like the Veitchii. I actually think it's really ugly. I know that's probably a hot take, but I don't like it at all. I prefer Anthurium that look like this, and it has just the right amount of like that dark black, pinkish, purple, magenta coloring on it. The emergent leaves show it a lot more, but it has like a little bit coming down the middle of the silvery veins, and then it has it on the petioles as well, especially on like the emergent ones. So it just has like that little pop of color that makes it exciting. But all in all, I just think it is like, when I think of Anthurium, this is just what comes to mind. This or like a crystallinum. It's just like a quintessential Anthurium look, and that's what I really like about it. I know it's nothing crazy. It doesn't have like that super dark purple color or like crazy orange or anything like that, but I just love it. I love it so much, and I can't wait. Maybe in a year we'll come back to this and see how much it's grown in another year, but I just love it. It's so cute, and it's been so low maintenance. It's just been a happy little plant, and that's all I can really ask of it. And that's why it's gonna be on my favorites a lot more too, because I just love it so much. Finally, I have one that I've not shown you guys in a while. And this one I actually got in a trade from one of my friends. This is a Hoya species bintulu Borneo, also known as IML 1646. I have it on this holographic trellis from Propagation Diaries, which I absolutely love, the holographic stuff. I just love it. I don't know why. I'm just really into it. Do you like it? I think she likes that. Yeah, she likes that it's like a toy. But this plant is just kind of understated. It recently put out a new vine. Okay, you go hang out over here so I can talk. It recently put out this new vine, and she took off with the plant tag. You're gonna have to give that back to me, Missy. Nope, that's hers now. Okay, anyway, it did put out these 2 new leaves recently with the vine. I am trying to keep it upright here so that it keeps growing. I haven't needed to clip it to the trellis at all so far, but this plant is just very subtle, but I really like it. I don't know, sometimes my favorite Hoyas are the ones that aren't too flashy, and they're just very easygoing, very low maintenance, and I feel like they're very understated. This one has really nice abs on it. You can kind of see in the light, it's got really nice abs. It does have some splashiness to it. Nothing crazy, but it's not like going away either. It's pretty stable, I would say, the splash. And it is also just a really easygoing Hoya. It's got like a quintessential Hoya looking leaf, pointed, a little bit round. Just really nice overall. I would say like the most unique thing about it would be the abs on it, just this subtle veining there. But it is really nice. I am hoping, I thought by now I would get a lot more growth out of it, but for quite a few months it just didn't grow at all. So I'm really hoping, because I'm on top of this vine at least, that it'll grow more. I mean, it did give me these 2 leaves, which are doing really well. They're not quite hardened off yet. Decent amount of splash on one of them. The other one has almost nothing, but that's okay. And then this is like the original vine that it grew back here, and it's got a couple leaves on it, these 2. But I just really like it. I just think it's a nice Hoya overall, and I don't really see it around often. I do like the understated ones that I just don't see like on Instagram, because they're not anything like crazy that people are raving about, like this one, and then the nicotine and the Dr. Ibach. Those are some of my absolute favorite Hoyas, and they're not anything crazy. I just really like them. I don't know. Something about an underrated Hoya, I guess, really makes me happy. But this one is doing really well in its little cup. I have some holes in the bottom so it gets some drainage in here, and it just creates like a little bit extra humidity in here for the roots so that they're growing a lot better, a lot healthier, and really happier. So I think that has also attributed to the growth. That and having the plant stake is just overall really happy with all of those conditions. And of course it gets a lot of light in the Millsbo cabinet. All right, so someone stole the tag and she was playing with it while I was talking about the last Hoya. And now I don't know where it is. Yes, you, Squirmy, you stole it. And I just don't know. She's not telling me where she put it. She's not showing me. So I might have to make a new one. I might find it later. We might have to go on a little scavenger hunt for the plant tag, but that's okay. I can't be mad at her. Look how cute she is. She's absolutely adorable. And I'd rather her play with the plant tag than a plant. So I can't be too mad. But that is it for our 5 favorite plants for the month of April. I hope it was worth the wait for you guys. Thanks for bearing with me. If you like this video, make sure to give Saffron and I here a thumbs up down below and subscribe so you don't miss anything from us here on the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.